Hello everyone, I'm Gio. I hope everyone's having the best blessed day possible today. Today is April 30th, Tuesday, April 30th, and it's about 4:30 p.m. I'm out on my bike ride for my day off, and today I'm down by this little pull off down here. You got the the little graveyard back there and stuff. It's on Route 5S, and then I got the water over here. So it's a cool little spot. You got this little rock formation there. So it's a pretty cool little spot. I got out and found it and everything. So for today's video, I got a lot of stuff to cover because a lot of things have happened, since I spoke with you yesterday, believe it or not. So, like for me, my last day to use was April 7th, right? And I'm so proud of that, that I'm over a year and that everything is good with that, but so I'm on treatment court, and I started treatment court last September was when I started that. Even though I got out of jail in June, I didn't start treatment court till September, but I stayed clean that entire time, when I wasn't even on treatment court. So about 3 weeks ago, I spoke about an instance that I had where I had a scare, right? Where I had a scare with my drug screen that I did at probation. Because I had elbow bursitis. My elbow was all inflamed and everything, and I read online, that you can't just take like ibuprofen for it, that you needed to take like a leave because it's got an anti-inflammatory in there. So I went and I bought a bottle of Aleve that day at noon, and by the next morning I had taken 16 of them. I was taking them 4 at a time, and I took them 4 different times, not even considering for a second that this could be something that could give me a false positive, even though I've been so careful about that this entire time, because I did have a scare with an everything bagel, and I had something with my antibiotic before. So I was very, very aware of this, and I was trying to be careful with everything that I put in my body, and then not to mention the health part of this, because I try to be so healthy now. I watch everything that I eat. I exercise as much as I possibly can, and I try to be like fully healthy. And I just went for my 6-month physical, and it came back, everything was great with it. So, but I focus on that, and that's something I really, really focus on. So taking a leave by the handful, taking them 4 at a time, 4 different times in less than 24-hour period, it didn't even occur to me as a thought that wasn't good for me. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I was kind of being good by only taking that amount, because generally I'm going to just pour a handful of whatever, because it's nothing compared to what I used to take. When I used to take hydros, there were days where I would exceed 100 a day, but I was taking them 10 at a time. So for me to only take 4 at a time of these, I thought I was being good. But now when I went to probation, I had probation at 9 a.m. I went there and I did a urine screen, and for some reason that showed a positive line for something on there. And I knew it was because of the leave, because that was the only thing that I've done different. That was the only change that I had. And then it occurred to me, okay, I took way more than the suggested dose. I took way more than that, and I knew that it was on this list of things that I have that could present a false positive. So I knew that. So now from probation, the probation officer went through my phone. She seen that there wasn't anything on there. All I'm doing is positive stuff on my phone and everything. She was trying to look to see if like I bought something off someone or if I did something wrong, which she didn't find anything. So then I had to go to Beacon Center and go do a screen there. So now the thing is like after I went and did the screen at Beacon, I started praying to God, and I was praying, God, please let the screen come back clean. But please just let it prove that I didn't do anything wrong. So, and that was the prayer that I had, not really considering the other levels of this prayer, but God does answer prayers, you know what I mean? So that screen came back and it was fine. Those screens came back and they were fine. So now today I go to treatment court, which I was on level 3. So now I only have to go every 3 weeks. Whereas when you start out on level 1, you have to go every week to both treatment court and probation. So you're going to 2 different appointments a week. Now I'm down to every 3 weeks that I have to go to treatment court and probation. So I went from 6 appointments basically in 3 weeks to 2 appointments in 3 weeks. I lost 4 appointments. But today I go to treatment court, and the judge says to me, that I had a positive screen. And, and I said, well, I went to Beacon, and it proved that, and it didn't show anything. And they said, well, you went to Beacon and you were told to go right there and screen. But the thing was, is when I went there, I was already late for work when I got there. for one. For two, they didn't know anything about the fact that I even had to go there and screen. So I had asked the receptionist, is it okay if I come back? Now, but in doing that, I did mention that I had taken a bunch of a leave and that's why I was positive. And I said, so if I came back, it'll probably give it a chance to come out of my system. You know what I mean? If I came back a little while, it would give it a chance to come out of my system. Now, more so, I was just completely worried about getting to work on time, because I was already late, and usually on a Wednesday, I go in by 9:30, and it was already after 10 o'clock. So, because we're closed on Monday and Tuesday, so we have a lot of stuff to set up and everything, so I always go in there early. But I did say that about the screen. So now that made it look like that I was kind of guilty for something, I guess, and that's why I was trying to come back later, was to like do something wrong, you know what I mean, that I was doing something wrong, but that was not the case at all. So now the screen comes back and it showed that there was nothing in my system, because this is a further test, this is where they send it out to a lab and it gets fully tested on what's involved in everything, so I figured, okay, this comes back, it's going to prove that I didn't do anything, which it did. But now today I show up at probation or at treatment court, and they say that I had a positive screen and and that I didn't go right over to Beacon, even though I did. And then, then instead of arguing with the judge, I just said, okay, because he doesn't want to hear any excuses or anything like that. So I said, okay. And then I stayed after and talked with a lady, and she explained that, it's a behavior, the fact that I would take that much and everything was a behavior. So I have to start the program all over again. So now, in my prayer, I guess I should have really been praying that nothing bad would come of this, that I wouldn't get in any trouble for it. But I didn't pray that. All I prayed was that the screen would come back and prove that I didn't do anything, which it did in fact do that. But I did not pray for me to not get in trouble. So God truly answered my prayer, but I just didn't pray it right. So that's why you have to be careful and you got to be specific with what you pray for. And I understand that. So now, so now when I left there, I was very, very frustrated for a little bit, my stomach was in knots over it and everything. And I'm just thinking, like, how could this be? How could this happen? Like why would this happen? And it was very disheartening at first, that something like this could happen because like you guys see, when I make these videos and everything, I'm putting so much effort into this and I'm so proud of everything that I'm doing that it kills me to have something like this happen. That was my first thought. It's just like, how if I'm putting in all this work and doing all this, I'm doing all these positive things, I'm doing everything so perfectly, I feel like, how could this happen to me? Why could this happen to me? So kind of a victim mentality, that's where I was going to with that, so now, like, oh, boo-hoo me, something bad happened to me, so now what do I do with that? Do I give up? Do I go buy a bunch of drugs and just say, well, if they're gonna think I'm doing drugs, I might as well do them? I've heard of people doing that in the past. I might have done that in the past, but no, I prayed on it and I kept thinking about it, and I recognized that everything happens for a reason. I don't know exactly what this reason is yet, but it could be that, now I have to start the program over again. So I have to go more times, which I don't even care about the program or doing that or anything, but I'm going to be in the program longer now, and it extends it out. But I more cared about the fact that it made me look a certain way, that it made me look like I'm fake in a way, that I'm making all these videos, I'm saying I'm doing all these things positive, I'm going to church, I'm doing all this stuff so right, it makes it look like I'm fake, maybe, possibly. So that's what I was thinking about a little bit, but I guess I need to not worry about what anyone thinks. This is what this is teaching me. I need to just know what I think and what God thinks, and that's all that really, really, truly matters. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about me. And I have to understand that, and I got to really, really grasp that feeling. Like I thought I had it under control. I thought I really didn't care what people necessarily thought about me and everything. But this was kind of like a different end of the spectrum, Like, I didn't care whether anyone thought I was cool anymore. I didn't care whether anyone thought I was, like this cool guy that I was always trying to be before. I was always trying to be Geo. I'm the drug dealer. I'm doing drugs. I'm hanging out. I'm so much fun to be around. I was always trying to be this cool guy, trying to uphold this image and everything. But now that I accepted God into my life and stuff, now the cool part I didn't care about anymore. But I thought that was all that it was. I thought the fact that I didn't care about being cool anymore, that I was proud of who I was, and I was standing up and I was speaking for God, and I was speaking about my relationship with God and stuff, not caring about the fact that how I was looked at for that. You know what I mean? I thought that that was, kind of the end of it. But no, I still cared about how I was presenting to other people doing that. You know what I mean? Like, so was that the reason why I'm doing all this? You know what I mean? Because I cared about because I was trying to make it look good for people or whatnot. I know that that's not the reason, but that kind of was what it made me think. You know what I mean? Because why do I care so much about, because I'm saying that I don't care about starting the program over again. I just care that people don't think that I'm real, you know what I mean? Or don't think that. So that's completely negating what I'm saying about not caring what someone thinks, right? That completely negates it, because that is me caring what someone thinks. So whereas I know what I'm doing, I know what this is, you know what I mean? I know all that. So that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Is that I know what I did. I know what's right. I know what's wrong. And that I know that I'm the person that I am today. And I know the relationship I had with God. And I know that He knows I didn't do anything wrong. And I know that He knows that I'm good. As long as I'm good with Him and I'm good with myself, that's what matters. It doesn't matter that I'm good with any of these other people. Yeah, I have to obey them, you know what I mean? I have to follow the laws that are written before me, you know what I mean? As far as, okay, I obviously can't do drugs, you know what I mean? I have to do drug screens. I have to be at these appointments. Like, I can't not do that. But past that, it doesn't matter what they necessarily think. As long as I do what I'm supposed to be doing, that's all that matters, you know what I mean? And I don't need to be worried about what they think about it, you know what I mean? I don't need to be worried about trying to make them think that I'm doing good or whatever, because just by me doing good, that's all that matters. So I don't need to worry about that. So that was kind of a bit of a wake-up call, is that I was kind of worrying about people the other way, you know what I mean, about the people looking at me that I was doing good. But I just need to truly worry about myself, and that's all that matters. As long as I'm good with myself, then that's all that matters. Nothing else matters. As long as I have my relationship with God and God knows that I'm good, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Like, whether someone thinks I'm lying, whether someone thinks that I am fake, whether someone, whatever they think, that doesn't matter, because they're not God. And so that does not matter. You know what I mean? So for me, putting any energy or thought into that was not good energy and thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So though that was not where my energy and thoughts should go. So I learned that lesson from this. I learned the lesson about praying, that you need to pray. You need to be specific about what you pray for, because God did answer my prayer completely. I was praying, that it shows that I did not do anything. And that's what the test showed. I did not pray that I would not get in trouble. I did not pray that. So therefore I got in trouble. So I need to be more specific with my prayer. So that's another lesson I learned. And then past that, I learned that like in this instance, I could very easily play this victim card, this happened to me, and I didn't do anything wrong and all this, you know what I mean? And I could choose to not make a video today because I'm frustrated, because what's the point of making videos if people are going to think I'm doing something wrong? What's the point in even doing it? Why am I doing all this for? You know what I mean? If people are going to just accuse me of doing something and think I did something anyway, why am I doing all this? But I'm not doing all this for them. I'm doing all this to show people that they too can find recovery. They too can have a better, more fulfilling life. But I need to myself feel more fulfilled, which I did every day. I made a post on Facebook today about how great I feel every day waking up, and then boom, this happens to me. So this was like a big it was a big adverse situation, you know what I mean? Like, it really kind of put me to the test a little bit, and it really, it gave me a lot of pause, you know what I mean? Like, I had to go lay in my bedroom for a little while by myself. Like, I couldn't calm down for a little bit, and then I'm just praying, God, why would this happen? Why would this happen? God, how could you let this happen? Why would this happen to me? And then I came to all these conclusions and all these realizations. So from this, I'm going to be better for it. I'm going to be stronger for it. And I'm going to learn the lessons that I'm supposed to learn. And this is going to make me a better person. And also, I can choose to understand, okay, everything happens for a reason. God makes everything happen. God's made so many things happen in my life that were unexplainable and that shouldn't have necessarily happened, that protected me and that made me good. In this instance, I'm not necessarily, it doesn't feel like I'm protected in this instance, right? But maybe this is God protecting me, you know what I mean? Maybe I was in danger, that if I'd gotten off the program at the required time, that I was going to be in danger of actually slipping up and doing something wrong. I don't feel like I would ever do that, but maybe that was actually going to be a danger for me. So now the fact that I have extended time in the program, now the fact that I'll have extended clean time where I'm forced to be clean, will help me in the overall, you know, long haul. It'll help me to stay positive, you know. And then the fact that I can make this video today with so much conviction and so much, you know, like just gratitude for the situation, you know what I mean? Like just, and to be able to piece it all together and recognize what the whole thing means, you know what I mean? And to be able to do that is something I would have never done before, you know what I mean? Like when I got done today, like I went home, I laid in bed, and I could have just laid there, you know, for the rest of the day and just sulked and just been like, boo-hoo me, you know. I got blamed for something that I didn't do, you know what I mean? Like boo-hoo, and I could have cried about it and just sulked about it, and I could have chosen to be a complete victim in the situation. But instead, I got up, you know, I started praying. I got up, I went for my normal bike rides that I go for, you know, and I pray, I talk with God like I do all the whole time, you know, and I figured it out, and God answered my questions, and God put it together for me. So now I can be at peace, and now I can fully recognize that this was the best thing for me. Even though it doesn't feel like necessarily the best thing for me, I choose to believe that this really was the best thing for me, and that's why it happened. And to know everything happens for a reason, and to know that I need to be more specific with my prayers, for sure. I need to do that. I understand that now. And I don't ever want to be a victim in any situation. I control my own life. I control everything that happens to me. I control the whole entirety of everything. So you can't always choose what happens to you necessarily, but you can choose how you handle what happens to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm choosing to do. I'm choosing to see this with a positive light. I'm choosing to not let this bring me down. I'm choosing to not let this hang me up at all. And I'm going to continue to be strong. I'm going to continue to make my videos and show everyone that this is a better way of life and stuff. And I'm going to overcome this, and I'm going to be better for it in the end. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. And I love everyone. I hope everyone really does have the best blessed day possible. I'm going to have the best blessed day possible from this point on now today, now that I got through this and I pieced it all together and I made a video now, and talking it out with you, it really kind of helped me as well, you know what I mean? Because I didn't really know how to put it all together until I kind of made this video. I know it's a little bit jumbly in how I spoke and everything, but I really did just figure this out right before your eyes. So I love you all. I appreciate you all. Anyone who supports me, please subscribe to the channel. I love everyone. I appreciate you all. God bless everyone. Have a blessed day. Remember that as nice as to be important, it's infinitely more important to be nice. God bless you.